from... I forgot who. Impala. I had to think.
Impala,
I had to go
yes.
double check that. Versus Jetbean with that Mordex, who had an incredible run at Springs. Hope's still alive for that here, but you gotta first get through Impala, who's also been on an incredible run.
Definitely having an incredible run, and not the first time, right? Like, Impala's been out here. And so is Jetbean, right? Jetbean has really been doing his thing as of late, but Impala is like a name I've known for a long time. And wow, look at that unarmed, putting together a nice string, but getting blasted with the side sig. Are you done? Is this a ground pound? No.
Oh, just got the wall touch at the very edge there, but you're talking about the side sig, not afraid to go for the side neutral sigs as well. Jeff being a very big fan of that. Like that, once again, he likes going for the anti-air plays to catch people slipping, and you got to watch out for the ledge because he will go for that D-Light input. He's been very consistent with catching people all day with that, as he just misses another one there, Zip.
Oh, man, we got top tier versus, I would assume people are ranking Kaya about mid tier, right? I think so. The weapon kits, 2 mid weapons, but that signature is top notch. Gonna go and throw him over the top, and Impala with the lead.
I mean, you know, the Spears have been showing up a whole lot lately,
Definitely.
and for good reason. The combo game has been solid. It's not exactly the easiest, weapon to line up consistent damage for, because it could be pretty easy to whip punish, but people have been playing it like it doesn't matter today. Also, one real thing that, like, one interesting thing of note, at least for this match, is that these are 2 players who are out of top 16 seed. This is 17 PR versus 32 PR. The top 32 creeping in here to guaranteed 7th.
Man, look. This just shows, man. You got to keep your practice up. It doesn't matter how long you've been a top player. It doesn't matter how long you've been winning. It doesn't matter how many gold medals you have. If you take a little break and you think that you're going to slack off for a little bit and come in here and get gold again, something else is coming to you. These players are hungry out here, and you better stay just as hungry.
Hey, the meta shift changes too as well. The shifts away from Hammer, the smaller stages, man, finding scoops like that off the side of the stage. Impala with this is actually a pretty comfortable lead right now against Jetbean. It's still Mordex, so a Mordex stock can happen at any given moment, but you have to first get access to that site to make things happen. Instead, it's going to be the gauntlets where he's going to have to start off with.
I mean, to be honest, a Mordex stock can happen at any time with either weapon because they're both absolute robbery weapons. Come on, man. Gauntlets and Scythe are straight up robbery weapons.
Oh, man. We saw so many gauntlets start to show up heavy at right before MSI, into MSI. A lot of people who were playing pretty much always would go for them. You saw the Vals, you saw the Wushangs. They're starting to show up everywhere, and it just continues, of course, with that Mordex. But I am really impressed by the way Impala's playing. Still holding the lead. Finds the sidelight, finds the read on the way down there into D-Light Sair and closes it out. Amazing job from Impala for game 1.
Man, did you watch any of my blocks yesterday?
Yeah, I was watching.
I know you were watching. So you know what it's called whenever you get baited, right? Get your dodge baited. You just got your room key to the base motel. So anyway, we're going into game number 2. Impala with the first round. Nice job after that good old bait. And I want to see what this Mordex can do to kick this next one. Ajax is cracking up. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Is that where you get the grits and gravy?
That's where you get the grits and gravy and the chicken and bacon. You understand me?
Oh, man. Look, the lore with Zip is deep, and so is the lore that will be happening from this tournament today. One thing that we've been seeing a whole lot with the stage changes, of course, is that Apocalypse has become the new standard. This is where we always start, or where we always end up going to eventually, which has still always been an optimal pick for characters like this. You want to be able to have that combo game. You want to be able to have that pressure off the platform. And Jetbean at Springs was really good at baiting people towards those platforms to get very free punishes.
That's correct. That's correct. I mean, and that's one of the best things you can do in this game, right? This game is a momentum game, and it's all about hard reads. So you got to bait people. You got to set people up to do what you want them to do. And once you get steamrolling, then, I mean, look at what the Gauntlets are doing right now to start this game off. See, okay, so you steamroll somebody, and then you start going for the crazy hard reads like that and messing up your own flow, and now you're setting yourself to where you could have lost the lead, but nice pickup from Jet. Gonna still take the lead off with the recovery over the top.
Exactly. As soon as he whiffed that, it's like, okay, let me go for straight GCD light into recovery, just close things out right now. But for Jetbean, I feel like the message needs to be sent in a small way, right? Like, Impala played so well in the first game, and sure, small Brawlhalla definitely helped out a little bit with some of those stocks.
Definitely.
But you still got hit by it. So you got to be the one to send a message going into this next game with Impala, who's been having a bit of a hard time finding most of these hits. Finally finds one, just misses out on the recovery to close that one out.
That Sig and that Neutralite probably would have KO'd on the last map, but this is a much broader stage, so you're going to have to get more hits and better punishes to make sure that you get these KOs. Now, sliding off the side, trying to keep him away with the down signature. I'm liking what Impala's doing, but now you're getting a little too close. You're fighting the Gauntlets chest to chest, and that's exactly what you don't want to do. Getting pieced and creased.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want right now. And still, the nair off the top still not going to be enough. Like you're saying, a little bit more distance on this stage, so you got to make it work. And one thing that Gauntless does not lack, especially if you get caught by one of those, is going to take you out. But the recovery finally finds its mark.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, and I mean, obviously you're juggling 2 bows. I was going to say which weapon are you going to go for, but I mean, the bow's the answer. I think that's what you want to play with right now. Even though the spear closed last game, I think this is the stronger weapon in this matchup.
I've definitely seen way more hits come out of the bow, and I mean, in the previous match too, it was very even spread. It was 237 on the bow, 202 on the spear, so it was even across both. But I think that the spear was just getting kind of crowded too much by the gauntlets early, and I think that's what's been more making Impala more inclined to want to switch away from that, as we see Impala take an exit off of stage right there.
Exit stage right. You know what cartoon character says that, right? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the character's name, but he is a cat, which he kind of looks like a Mordex right now.
How you gonna build that up and not even know the answer, bro?
You made me forget who it was with your confused face.
You know what? To be fair, as I didn't have the answer to seal it out, so unfortunately, I made you look bad at the same time too. I held 2 L's in the same situation. I'm so sorry.
I had it at first, but the face, man, I'm telling you, it threw me off. My brain was moving too fast to keep up. If Remy shows up on analysis at some point, if he just tells us the answer is and this is what the actual answer was. You know what? I would love if Remy would do that, and I would love to see Impala get back on stage. Finally gets up there, lands a nice little signature, but still down pretty hefty, a whole stock, and really, really heftily damaged on this final stock.
Yeah, and Impala going off unarmed, just trying to find a dodge, but doesn't necessarily need it. And although you've taken quite a bit, this actually wasn't as bad as the last one, because the last 2 stocks has mostly been deep in the red before you finally got the knockout. You still have an opportunity here as you get the 2-piece right there, trying to get the read on where he was trying to land with that recovery. But still, even without that, he's starting to get a lot more stray hits here, Zip.
Definitely landed some good hits and hasn't been touched for a while. Nice, gets snatched immediately. Jet Beam in a position to close this one out. Just lets him up there for free, but not really. That side air puts him right back down. And now it's the psyche you have to deal with. For the closeout, neutral sig will do it. Jet Beam, time to set.
Nice job getting the dodge read right there. I was actually going to point out how Impala was the one waiting a little bit at the end, where he was looking for the burn dodges to find more of those sidelights to get more damage, because it's on you to have to get a lot of damage going, and Jet Bean could get panicky and try to make sure you don't, so try to land early. But Jet Bean recognized, oh, you're the one freaking out because you're currently at knockout percentages, gets the read at the end, and now we're going to go on our way over to Fortress Alliance.
Now, here we go. I mean, I have a question for you as we get into this game. You see that castle in the back there? You see that on Airbnb for a cheap price. You going or what?
All right, look, there's a reason why Spanish folk live every horror film. We're never there. That's all I got to say to that. So, in this game here...
That was good. That was good, and it's so true.
Smart financial decisions also include survivability, and I am not stepping foot in that. Well, especially with the music going on in the background, no thank you. Because as we're hearing what could be the church bells ringing for one of these two, if they get a good lead right now, because I think that I know that it's pretty cliche to say, but this game 3 means a lot. As we see that knockout come out on the side of Impala, if you can force the other one to have to approach you more often, especially if you're Impala. If you can get this game, that means you're going to get Jet Bean more inclined to rush up on you, and that's going to open up a lot more for Bo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now, I mean, even if you open up a lot for the bow, the spear's the thing putting together the damage. My gosh. I love seeing people get picked up with those combos. I hate getting hit by it, but it's fun to watch somebody else feel my pain.
Exactly. Look, it's incredible to watch. It's terrible to get hit by. As it's much like that move right there. That's the first time we've seen Jet Bean in a while go for the burst option ground pound. He hasn't gone for that since game 1.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. There's been a lot of opportunities too. I thought that we'd see it there was 2 times last match that I thought it would happen. But Jet Bean playing a little reserved on those edge plays. Nice right here, playing the edge guard. Weapon throw down, your weapon less. And wow, is that the stock? Just pure fear placed into the heart, just like if you yourself went and stayed at that Airbnb. Pure fear led to that KO.
Well, it's stage positional pressure, right? Like, the only opening you had was that door at the bottom. You want to walk through, but the problem is you walk through, you get D-like ground pounded. So I'm not opening the door, and neither did Jet Bean. Unfortunately for Jet Bean, though, he still ended up losing it anyways. And, well, now you're in credits, but you were in the movie for 2 seconds.
So you're down a whole stock. This is looking like reverse exactly last game. Impala was down the exact same way, almost the exact same color on the stock, but Jet really has to get this one out of here to even attempt a comeback. Yeah. And nice job put out to the side. You have the sight in hand. I mean, I like the idea that to try to check for the over-the-top recovery and go for your recovery. Nah, it wasn't going to work out. Boom, and that's going to be the game. Impala driving into the set lead.
Hey, you know, always consistent, very much a card that'll last you a long time, and it'll get you through everything. And right now, built a little bit differently as Impala finds not one but two of those slide cancels to find the knockout, and JetBean getting forced away just from positional fear there. And then on this last one here, JetBean trying to go for an edge guard prior to that moment, went for the reversal recovery, trying to catch Impala, excuse me, going to the bottom and then quickly recovering also. You can get your resources back off. Impala saw through that, was able to close it out. Now we're going to just go on over to Miami Dome, which I think is the only time, the second time we've seen this the entirety of today.
I mean, all over the whole weekend. Like, people are rarely picking this map, and I completely understand it. Those platforms are placed pretty awkward. And so it leads to a play where you can't really stay grounded and try to do most characters' SIG packages don't reach up to the plat, so you can't really do things you can do with other platform stages. But right now the spear is going hammer time. Well, that signature can reach up to the platform, so I think for Impala this is going to be really good. Even Mordex's neutral SIG with the Scythe will be able to reach it too. So they'll both be able to make something work with it, but down light into the side air still isn't enough. Going down to the side, slid off with the pivot down SIG. What a KO from Impala.
What a story that's being told right now. And I was gonna say one of the biggest reasons that you come to Miami Dome is you're trying to mix up your disadvantage. You have been struggling to land, so like you said, it's a little harder to hit those. And Impala has answered back with repeated nairs from Spear and has gotten not one, not two, but three recoveries straight up from Bo. Not even off anything else. Just like, oh, I know you're gonna land here, I'm gonna catch you. And at this point, JetBean has been looking a bit lost on not only the center stage gameplay, but of course those offstage gameplay from those slide cancel signatures.
Definitely. And here you go. Those are those recoveries you were just talking about. They cleaned up the second stock of Jet. Jet is now down dose of them boys. Oh, and only has Impala on orange, and Kaya doesn't have bad defense, so you're still in a tough situation to get the first stop.
Man. You've been struggling to land. Gas prices are a bit high right now. The jet fuel is a little bit bit of a struggle. Disadvantage has been looking kind of bad. Finally, decides to go on a collision course with Impala to go ahead and get that knockout. But like we said, Impala's built sturdy.
Hey, look, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, that was Barce. This dude is spitting, but I don't know. I'm worried for Jet. I don't know what Jet's gonna do. Jet's just fighting for his life, but Impala has complete control of this match. Man, if you could have got a little bit more right there, you might have changed my mind, but it still wasn't enough to make me feel like this is in your favor at all. Pick up that? No. I thought we were gonna bait a dodge. Take it back to the base motel for the downlight.
Well, that right there, too, also conditions the fear later that I might go for the ground pound because I went for the nair read on the high recovery there. Now you have to worry about the fact that I might go for it straight up, and Impala might just hover the side of the stage and go for another slide cancel signature because they've all been connecting. And for JetBean, you're at that straight hit window now where a D-Light Sair on a spear can take you out, or actually just that. Wow. As we see Impala knock out the second place finisher from Springs, who just finished beating the Springs champ, the MSI champ, the #1 PR of Luna. JetBean has fallen. My predictions are destroyed, much for good reasons from plays just like that from Impala.
That was such a set from Impala. Impala playing so clean, and for me, I love to see it. You know, not to say that I don't